Right. So we just got done at the Davangere Benne Dosa Hotel with a quick bite by way of breakfast, and post that we are headed to our village in Thali, me and my brother. Not sure what's happening with the GoPro, keeps turning on and off. Not sure whether something needs to be checked, but yeah, I hope I'm not sure really how much footage is getting captured. I'm just winging it and going by pure luck. But anyway, so as I was saying, we are going to be taking the scenic Harohalli route to get to our village, which is near Thali. It's a place called Chudasandiram. For those who know your Tamil Nadu villages well. And yeah, it's going to be a brisk run this morning. That's the plan. We intend to be back home for lunch. We were supposed to start even earlier, but thanks to me, who else, right? We ended up starting quite a bit later than what was the original intention. We were supposed to meet at around 6 or 6:30, but we ended up meeting at 7:30. So yeah, I really need to get much more disciplined. Really need to scale back my sleep cycles. Really need to reset my circadian rhythm. Quite a lot of reforms in this space is needed ASAP. But yeah, so that's what's happening at the moment. I hope the camera still continues to record. These roads are in a real bad shape. There are speed breakers pretty much everywhere. Not this road actually needs speed breakers because the road surface condition itself is horrible. This road really doesn't need speed breakers. People won't be able to go quickly on these roads anyway. So the speed breakers are a joke. Other than that, okay, there is something not quite right with the GoPro today. It's being quite playing truant with me, being quite difficult this morning. It says repairing file. Not sure what's happened. Probably I need a new memory card of some sort. But yeah, it's really not a good experience this morning. Keeps turning on and off several times by itself. Yeah, so as I was saying, headed to our village. And other than that, I had briefly been trying the art of motorcycles handlebar on this bike for about a couple of weeks. And while that handlebar is generally good and widely, sort of known in the motorcycling circles, on this particular bike it did not work for me for a couple of reasons. One is it's too wide. It's much wider. It goes up to here. And secondly, these Royal Enfield original hand protectors, because the art of motorcycles handlebar sort of ends at an angle like this, these actually come at an angle and they protrude even further, which made squeezing through tight traffic very not very difficult, but definitely a bit more difficult than the stock handlebar. But I definitely do need some height in the handlebar, and because of which I actually went for the risers, the legendary or legendary, whatever it is, the risers basically from Bandito's pit stop costed me about 3,500 rupees. But these are angled risers, which actually not only raise the handlebar but also bring them a bit more closer to me. And I've got to say, it's an amazing experience. It's a no-brainer. It's a game changer on this bike. I am now sitting so comfortably and gripping the handlebar so with such consummate effortless ease that it's been worth it. So anybody in the market who wants a slightly taller handlebar, you might want to look into risers rather than the Art of Motorcycles handlebar. That's my honest opinion, because the stock handlebars of this motorcycle, they are quite they're optimally wide, I would say. They're neither too wide nor too narrow. The designers know very well what they're doing, so they've built an extremely comfortable handlebar. It's just that at least for me, needed to be a bit more taller than what they were. Because of their previous position, it actually gave me a backache on a couple of rides, and that's when I realized that I need taller handlebars. So that's something you might want to look into. Beautiful. As you can see, the lake is amazing with all the sun rays hitting it just at the right angle. Yeah, perks of being a motorcyclist. Lovely. As you can see, Kanakpura road is quite busy this morning, which it will continue to be till we reach the Harohalli cross, and thereafter we should be quite sparse traffic. Look at this road is a mess, absolute mess. And I'm sure the recent spate of rains that we've been having, they've made them even worse than what they used to be. Boy, am I glad I have the Himalayan. Makes dealing with these surfaces a bit more easier than any other bike. I'm quite loving the Himalayan. I've had the Himalayan for about 3-4 months now. Is that right? Yeah, maybe. But I really I'm really liking this bike much better than what I thought I would. Let me just put it that way. In fact, it's very soon turning into a bike that's a keeper. Definitely cannot imagine my riding life without it. I'll do a more detailed analysis and review of the Himalayan as soon as I feel that I'm in a good enough position to do it. Don't want to just do a review for the sake of a review. Want to make it as comprehensive as possible so that it's of value to whoever is interested in this bike. Having said that, my CB350 ownership has also crossed 1 year now. November 4th was a year. We are on December, if my memory serves me right, we are at about December 12th today. Yeah, so more than a year of ownership up so far. So that's due for a 1 year ownership report, which should happen soon. Again, I'm building some good data to present on that review, so keep watching this space. That review will land soon. So the GoPro is definitely acting up quite a bit. Not sure what the problem is. I've been meaning to pick up a GoPro Hero 9, which is actually going for quite good prices at the moment, because the GoPro Hero 10 is already in place, it's already in the market. Been meaning to pick up a Hero 9, but the GoPro Hero 7 which I have is so good that I really haven't had an impetus to go ahead and make the purchase. But the way things are, I don't know, it's at least for the last couple of rides the GoPro's been acting up, so I don't know whether it's a whether it's an issue with the camera itself, or just that it's time for me to get a different memory card, or what it is. But yeah, the overall experience is starting to dip down a little bit. It's these sort of back roads that these long stroke engines really, these are the places where they really come into their own, especially with their long stroke sort of character, and the low end torque which you get. It's so easy to just casually and aimlessly putter around, and yeah, I'm not at all complaining. Not at all complaining. Life is good. I think when I look at the overall impressions of the Himalayan in the social media, and with all these people who constantly keep complaining about this bike, they fail to understand what a fine, nice motorcycle this is. It's a real pity that people just seem to be looking for excuses to dump on this bike. Yes, it's not a perfect motorcycle. Yes, the Royal Enfield after sales and service culture could sure use an uplift. I do admit to all of these improvement areas, but it's a fine product. There is no disputing that. You've got to take care of this motorcycle. Yes, it's going to ask you for a bit of extra care, probably than say a Honda or a Suzuki, but it's going to give you a return on investment for that extra care that it not demands from you, but that it requests from you. So give it that little bit of extra care. Take care of your chain, take care of all the spots which are typically vulnerable to rusting. Use your WD-40s well, use your liquids and fluids well, take care of it, look after it well, and I guarantee you the smiles per miles quotient or ratio on this motorcycle is off the charts. There's a bit of a patch here which is a bit of undone road work which they have not completed for some reason. We should be hitting that patch soon. Oh, look at that. Whew. And this is why I love this road so much. I'd really love to take off into one of these trails someday, one of these little trails like you see here, and see where these lead up to. So Ahiraj, who's usually one of my other trusted riding partners, so he actually works for a Dubai based client in his current role in his employment, and that's the reason why he's not able to make it on Sundays, and that's why I think on a couple of occasions I've tried to join him on Saturdays, because for him the weekly weekend off is Friday and Saturday because of the Dubai time zone. But recently there's been news everywhere that Dubai or UAE as a nation is shifting to the sort of the Western weekend schedule, which is the Saturdays and the Sundays. And what that's going to mean very soon is it's going to result in Ahiraj having a bit of time or an ability to join us on the Sunday. Hogbeka? Hogbeka? ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ ಅಥವಾ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋಣ? ಒಂದು 5-10 ನಿಮಿಷ ಇದ್ದು ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾ ಹೆಂಗೆ ನೋಡಿ? Okay, so this is the Maralawadi dam. I thought of taking a 5 or 10 minute stop here, but my brother said let's just carry on to the village. Maybe on the way back we'll try and make a stop here. I don't know. Looks like quite a bit of water. Very nice to see. Not much crowd as well. I would have loved to have had a stop here, but well. That's my brother up ahead on his classic 350, Sandeep. I really love these quaint little villages. It's very it's quite a bit of an unplug to see them go about their lives unhurried, as that's my expression of choice to describe how I see them going about their everyday business of life, unhurried. They're not in a race with the world. They're not in competition with anybody. They have their own speed. They have their own velocity, and that's how they go about things. These handlebar risers are a godsend, I tell you. My hands are so relaxed, my elbows are just hanging around freely, and yeah, I really dig these handlebar risers from legendary Bandidos Pit Stop. Kudos Bandidos, at last I like one of your products after having had a not so savory experience with a couple of other products, but probably that's content for another video another day if I feel like it. Not really sure if it's a productive thing to make a video on something I didn't like. I should probably just keep my views to myself. Maybe it's just not for me. The product is good, the design is good. Maybe I am that subset of users for who it didn't work out for whatever reason. Let's just put it down to that. Initially, I and my brother today, we planned to make a stop at the restaurant and pack some food and carry it with us, and then make a stop in one of these places here. So here's where a bit of the wildlife zone begins. As you can see on that signboard up there, this is an elephant zone. We have seen several places where there are elephant droppings, and probably I'll get more chances to So we are at our farms right now. These are tomato plants. Our farmers were just saying that because of all the excessive rains that we've been having, many of the crops have not really been at their optimal best. Quite a lot of produce was lost because of these rains. So that's the problem of excess. Whoa, had a bit of a fall there. Huh? ನೀರಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಣಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. This is the Thali Lake. As you can see, plenty of water pretty much throughout the year. I have only seen this lake or a pond bed dry a couple of times in my recollection. It's usually full and flowing just the way it is right now. You can see quite a lot of aquatic life in the form of aquatic plants and aquatic birds. A lot of cranes, storks, ducks, herons. Yeah, here is that little bit of a water crossing situation. Yeah, if you see over there, that's where the pond overflows a little bit and comes onto the road and results in this. Who says you've got to go to the mountains for lake crossing, for water crossing? We have it right here in Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Get all the practice you want right here before you head off to the mountainous terrains of Leh and Ladakh. Okay, we are stopping here for some reason. Hina? Don't know what that was about. He just stopped to ask, shall we continue further? In these parts, I think I'd really struggle with a bike like the Versus, for example. I think in these type of roads and in these type of paths, the Himalayan is a godsend, as is the Classic 350, for example. The Versus probably will be a bit of a burden to bring in these paths because of the nature of the motorcycle and the weight. But out on the highway, the Versus is a beast. The Himalayan can do the highway extremely well as well. It's got quite a bit of heft and road presence, but the Versus actually does it much better. It's a machine made for the highways. The machine made for touring, with its comfortable couch-like seats and its ergonomics and its overall low-end torque, the gear ratios. But I digress. So previously, where this gate is, there used to be a manned checkpost with a couple of sentries checking entry and exits into between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. But at least for the past 3-4 visits, it's been there's nobody here to do that. Not sure why. Right then. So I think I'll probably sign off at this point. Thank you for being with me on the ride so far. Hope you enjoyed it. And we'll soon be reaching the places where our farms are. If there is anything interesting over there, you will see you would have already seen footage of it. If there's anything interesting I feel like showing, but if not, have a good rest of the Sunday, and I'll speak to you all super soon. And take it easy. Bye.